Mr. Recita Blanco, the Artsy sister, and today I'm reading Saturnastra Loki. This is chapter 2, part 2. What about birds and bees? You know what happens between a man and a woman when they are alone in a room, asked Loki. Like how we are now, asked Ingrid coolly. Whatever, dude, repeated Ingrid, feeling offended. I was under the impression that you were a polite knight. I was, but lately I've been feeling like channeling a rude mage, and I got the look under my hair, but all I was missing is a bit of magic, explained Loki. How droll, commented Ingrid. Without magic, you're just pretending to be something you are not. I can be whatever I want to be, and besides, magic is just a means to an end, and if I want to burn someone to a crisp, I do have the power to do so, said Loki ominously. Good for you. Now tell me about these virgin birds. I'm curious about it, said Ingrid, pretending not to be concerned. It is called parthenogenesis. Females can give birth without needing a male, and the childborn is usually a copy of the mother. However, it is possible to give birth to a male version of herself, and this is common in mayflies and nymphs and other reptiles too, like dragons, explained Loki. Ah, very interesting, said Ingrid, pretending to understand. Pooh. You are no fun, said Loki, frowning. It just sounds like another one of my mother's droning lectures, explained Ingrid. Good to know, said Loki, getting up. Where are you going? asked Ingrid. Loki did not bother to answer, and he left the maiden alone and bored with her thoughts. And midnight came, and Ingrid still was not falling asleep. And Loki had not returned to the bedroom, and she waited and waited, but Loki did not return till morning. And he had spent the night roaming in the vicinity of the inn, and while wandering about, he saw a maiden looking about and calling someone's name. He asked solicitously, Lost something, ma'am? Oh, by the gods, what are you? asked the scurrilous maiden. Nothing, just an overfed Wendigo, explained Loki. The maiden did not linger too long, and the night air and the strange aspect of Loki, with his decimated demeanor, bliss, and tattered and bloody, with antlers growing out of the forehead, and the elongated nails and rows made from wolf fur. She stopped to look back to see if Loki was following her, and he stood there like a bored statue, and then he yelled, Do you want my help or not? If not, it's not as if anyone else is interested in lending you a hand. He was in the form of a Wendigo roaming around in the dark. And then he ran into a dancer and he offered help while looking like a Wendigo. How do I know you won't eat me? asked the maiden. I was right behind you and did not strike you down, so, gestured Loki. Why do you want to help me? asked the maiden. Because I have nothing better to do. I am standing yonder inn over there, and I depart on the morrow, explained Loki, pointing towards the inn. The maiden was confused for a moment, and then she remembered the strange blue giant with the elaborate-looking mace staff, and she had caught a furtive glimpse of him while shining the cutlery for the new esteemed patrons, and coming close enough to not require yelling, she asked, Why do you look like that? Are you cursed or something? No. So that look is your personal choice, asked the maiden. It seems like the thing to wear considering our surroundings, said Loki, staring at the inn surrounded by willow trees. And he stared at the branches, and they in turn stared back at him. The maiden shivered after staring in that same direction as well, and when she turned to look back at Loki, he had grown uncomfortably close to her without her noticing. Smiling, he said, I am sorry, but you amuse me ever so, and either tell me your desire or I will continue in this manner till sunrise. You continue being creepy. Well, my sister Tani. She has gone into the wood and has not returned. She usually returns before midnight, but her sentence was cut short when her dear sister Tani came out of the woods with her clothing in a mess. Like her sister, Tani was startled by Loki's strange appearance, but being in the inn business, she eventually got over it faster than the average fellow. Loki gave the new arrival a peripheral look from head to toe, and she had heart palpitations even though he had sent her walking till she was within sight of the inn, and she had a strong sensation of heat even though the night was chilly, along with a headache and a dry mouth. Tani eventually calmed down enough to tell Loki a long elaborate story about being assaulted by the son of the owner of the inn. And while she told the story, Loki kept interrupting and asking mean questions, and after poking about, Tani finally told the truth and said, Frankly, he said he was going to marry me, but now he won't because I gave myself in a silver platter. That lying rat, Mr. Wendigo, can you force Frankly to marry her? asked Lainey. And time, bro?
10 minutes exactly.
I could, but I'd rather not. One should not marry against their will just to save face or to avoid what they say. It is not as if he forced himself upon you. He only sugared you to bring out the devil in you. And as far as I'm concerned, if the hair is stupid enough to take the bait, he deserves to be skinned alive, explained Loki. But it's not fair. Tiny repeated the words, again sighing and turning red, and her nostrils flaring, and her chest started rising and heaving in a fury. Life isn't fair for weaklings like you. If it's cause you forget about him and find yourself someone else who will marry you in spite of that terrible rancor of yours, said Loki. Spare me your relationship advice, monster, said Tani. She then went inside the inn and continued with her first initial impulse, and after placing the house upside down with her lies and accusations, both the scarlet remains were thrown out of the inn. Loki watched this turn of events with wild amusement, and with sunrise only 3 hours away, he decided to wander about the forest, picking up whatever little trinkets drew his attention. And while there, he saw Franklin, and smiling Loki said, "If I were you, I would wait a few hours before returning." "How bothersome," said Franklin, sighing while Loki studied him. Only his boots were dirty, and there was not even the slightest silver or grass or dirt on his hair, hands, or even his knees. Apparently used to seeing strange things in the forest, Franklin was undisturbed when he caught a glimpse of Loki in his Wendigo form. In the end, Franklin decided to follow Loki's advice, and sitting down on the ground, he asked, "So what became of the scarlet remains? They were dispatched by the looks of things," said Loki. "How bothersome," repeated Franklin, and he then said, "It is a little silly and a bit sad, and those foolish girls get all sorts of weird ideas thinking that they can strong-arm you into marriage using the old trick of getting knocked up, and she will probably return in a couple of months with a belly to boost and claiming to be the mother of my bastard." "You could just kill her. It would be an easier solution to this little problem," suggested Loki thoughtfully. "Nah, life will probably take care of the problem for me. Everyone gets what's coming to them at some point or another," said Franklin. "Now who is the fool with a weird idea?" said Loki, laughing, and his eyes glowed like 2 diamonds in the darkness. And the next day Loki was out in the road again with Ingrid, and she asked him what he had done the previous night, and Loki gave her the short version. And like Hirsch, Loki was fond of transformations, and while Hirsch was married to the Swan Master persona, Loki would try out different forms and gauge people's reactions to them. "Well, right," and Ingrid asked, "So where are we going?" "I thought we should visit your birthplace and start investigation from there, and we know that you were left in the forest, but we know not of the fate of your sister," said Loki. "Yeah, there's a chance that my dad would have cared for her and left me for some odd reason. Maybe she's there with him," said Ingrid, smiling. "I want to get my hopes up." "So Sean was struck hard by the war," said Loki. "Like most places, but there might be people from the old days living there that might know something," said Ingrid. "Are we now grasping at straws?" said Loki. "So aside from the name, what do you know of the city?" asked Ingrid. "Nothing too important, just that it was a large port town at the mouth of the river Rubicautus, and its economy depended on slave trade, and while their main forces were trying to loot the capital, their town got a surprise visit from pirates. And with every rainy season comes the cholera and other waterborne illnesses," explained Loki. "By and by, are we in danger of illness by any chance?" asked Ingrid. "It's winter, so no. The worst you might get is a common cold," explained Loki. "Then we must make haste towards the nearest boutique," said Ingrid. The pair hurried their mounts till they reached the city of Society, and the city controlled by courtesans whose trade still extended throughout the continent. And the day was spent in a city boutique while Ingrid tried different jackets and other winter attires. It was only then that Loki figured out that his common cold line had not been understood. And while she was trying out different outfits, Loki asked, "Have you ever been ill?" "I try to avoid being sick as much as possible. That is why I'm here buying a jacket," said Ingrid. Sean rarely gets snow, and are you certain you want to wear such a thick overcape?" asked Loki. "I foresee no reasons not to, and what starts as a common cold can quickly turn into an ice storm. Such is the unpredictable nature of the winter," said Ingrid. Whatever, dude," said Loki, leaving the shop. He then made his way towards the stables while feeding his tiny horse, and then one of the stable hands commented, "That's a nice pony you got there. It's got to be a fine horse when it grows up." "It's not a pony, and this type of horse will never get bigger, at least in this lifetime," said Loki, giving his horse an apple. "Time, bro?"
5 minutes.
So then why bother with it? For the size, you might as well call it quits and get yourself a mule. It will be at least bigger and more fit for the life of burden, said the stable hand. I prefer my horse, said Loki. He was left to his own devices after this brief conversation. Half an hour later, the stable hand returned and asked, You certainly you don't want a donkey? If you are strapped for cash, there's no need to sell your ass over it. Because the donkey fell for an ass. Loki laughed after he said this joke, and reaching into his hair, he drew out a small bag filled with coins, and throwing it at the stable boy, he said, Here, take it. I cannot sell this charity, said the stable boy. Then just pretend you found the coin purse on the ground, said Loki, throwing the bag on the floor. After taking the money, the stable boy went home, and hours later the drunk owner of the inn came searching for Loki with the boy. And he asked Loki, and he indeed confirmed that he had given the stable boy a bag of coins, and the innkeeper threw the money in Loki's face, and disgusted he said, We do not need charity from you freaks. Standing up with his head touching the roof, Loki said, But no, sir, you do not realize that you will indeed need this charity, for you see there's a new king in Veragero, and this will be the only currency he will accept. That's not the new currency. This is the new currency, said the innkeeper, showing a new shiny minted coin, and he added, And you can keep that one too. The gods know you will need it. Loki placed the coin within his hair and then left to see if Ingrid had completed her shopping. And she was nowhere near done, but to avoid problems, he decided to start settling the accounts. And the shopkeeper gave the bill, and he said, I am going to need you to pay using the local banknotes, and you can make the exchange in the notary office right across the shop. And Loki entered the office, and he tried to make the exchange, and after meditating a bit, Loki bit the bullet and made the uneven trade for 2 coins, and he did not care, seeing as though even those coins would soon become worthless. It wasn't often that a civilization closed itself off to the world, but if the dragon riders and the trolls and the newly discovered elves from the Oriente had managed to be self-sufficient for millenniums, it would be easy task for Veragero to follow suit. And the night was spent in a luxurious the Painted Rose Inn, and Ingrid had never seen so many beautiful ladies, and she felt plain surrounded by the doll-up courtesans. And Loki had apparently told everyone in the inn that she was a princess. And after mindless chit-chat, and the interrogation began, and spearheading the interrogation was the courtesan Nellie Wynn. So what does a pretty little troll princess do exactly? Inquired Nellie. I assist my mother in public events, such as when she makes a decree or performs religious ceremonies. Not only is she our queen, but she's also the figurehead of our, to put it in terms you all can understand, our illustrious queen is our prophet and our high priestess, and she guides our souls in the moral fabric of our entire civilization. And I assist her in this daunting endeavor, and I'm also in charge of the education curriculum for the new maids, and I also plan the sets and the choreography of our very own ballet troops, explained Ingrid. Time, bro.
1 minute 30 seconds.
Nellie looked at Loki, who grinned and shook his head, and forming a finger pyramid with her fingers, Nellie said with feigned surprise, Oh my, you certainly go above and beyond the average, princess, and plan to tell me how well do you sing and dance, if I may ask. Verily, answered Ingrid proudly, and Loki whispered, I wouldn't if I were you. In response, Ingrid stepped on his boots and beneath the table with the heels of her shoes, and Nellie then stood up and the entire room fell silent, and whenever she stood, placing her index finger on the table, those around her knew that they had to pay attention to her. She then said, My dear Veronica, step aside. Our little troll princess would like to grace us with her music. And please give us an example of what passes as singing among the troll community. Time, bro?
Less than a minute.
Alright, well, leave this adventure here. Bye-bye and God bless.